Hey guys, it's YoungMindedJess here, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about unturned console commands. You can call them cheats if you want, but for this you are going to need an unturned server, so if you don't have one of those, go to the link in the description and that will take you to my tutorial on how to get this. I'm going to be demonstrating this on a Rocket server, and this will just be covering the console commands. This won't be covering the config commands. So the things you do in the command.dat folder, this will just be covering what you do in the console. So first thing first, we're going to have to open up the console so that we can join the game and basically target the commands towards myself. So once that's loaded up, we are just going to join the server. There we go, loading up, and I think that's us there. So we're just going to go ahead and connect to the server and join. Now this video will cover pretty commonly used commands to all the obscure ones. I am going to cover everything. So the first one we're going to cover is admin, and then you just put in your in-game name or Steam ID. It was just loading a bit more, I'm not sure if it admined me there, and then you can see successfully admined. Then the next thing is admins. This basically shows a list of all the admins. As you can see, it's only myself. The next one I'm going to show is Airdrop. Basically what this does is it'll set an airdrop to be launched into the game. As you can see, the plane's up there, and it'll basically just drop an airdrop into the game. Now this can be useful if you're kind of playing like a PvP server and you want to make things a bit more exciting with an airdrop. Then the next command we're going to go over is ban, and then you would just either put in the person's in-game name, so say if I was going to ban myself I'd do that, or you can put in a Steam ID. So say if you were putting in a Steam ID, it would look like that. And then you would put in a reason, so say they were being toxic, and then the duration. Now the duration is optional, so say if you want them to be permanently banned, you would not put a duration, but say if you do want them to be banned for a certain amount of times, it's done in seconds. So say if you wanted to ban them for 10 minutes, it would be 600, so that's 600 seconds is 10 minutes. So there you go. Then the next one is bans. This is basically just to check if you have any bans. Obviously I don't, because I haven't done any. Then the next one is bind, and then the IP. So this is rare. This is, again, I covered this in my first video. This is if you need to kind of, if your current internet goes down, the next one it will connect to. You don't really need to worry about that. Then the next one is chat rate. And then you would put in a number, so say I put in 12, that means every 12 seconds someone can send one message. So we'll set it to chat rate 12, and then we'll go in and we'll see I can type a message, and then I can't actually type anymore. Then what we're going to do is cheats, and then we're just going to enable those. Again, if you're in the game you can't actually enable the cheats. So that's recommend doing it in the command.dat file. I believe you can disable cheats in the game, but you cannot enable them. So if you were to do cheats disable, you can do that, but you can't enable them while in game. Then the next one is cycle. This will basically decide how long day and night lasts. So say if I go for 600, basically means day and night will last 10 minutes. Then the next one is day. I'll set it to daytime. Then night, I'll set it to nighttime. I'm just going to set it back to day. Then the next one is debug. What this basically does is it shows you all the details for your server and also your public IP address and the port. So this is the IP address you want to show people if they want to join the game. Then the next one is experience, and this is basically if you just want to give a player experience. So you just type your name and then how much experience you want to give. And again, because cheats is disabled, I cannot do it. So if you have cheats enabled, you can give experience. Then the next one is filter. Now again, this is another one that you can't always do while running. It basically, what it does is filters out non-English alphabet. So say if someone joins with a Chinese name, they won't be able to type in Chinese. Then the next one is flag. You would just put someone's name, the flag you want to give them, and like the value. But again, with cheats disabled, you can't do that. Then again, there's the give command. So say if you wanted to give someone something, again you'd put in their name, and then the item ID. So I think Eagle Fire is free, and then the amount you want to give them. But again, I'm assuming this will take cheats. But that would give me 1 Eagle Fire. Then the next one is gold. Again, this won't work during the server because it's a change. But basically what it does is it sets it to gold status. So you would have to buy that DLC to understand it. And then one important thing for all of this is help. So say if you're not exactly sure what a command does, you can go help and then type in like the name of it, and it will give you exact information about what it does. Then the next command is hide_admins. Again, you can't do this one while running, but what it'll do is basically hide all the admins and they'll appear as if they're a normal player. For example, at the moment I don't have it running, so if you go to players, you will see that I'm an admin by that little hammer in the top. So then the next one is kick, and again this works the same. You just put someone's name and then a reason. So say if I want to put toxic, if I put this in, as you can see, it's kicked me there. Now kick doesn't have a time limit, so as you can see I can immediately join back. So kick is just kind of if someone's AFK and you don't want them there, it's not really a punishment on your server. Then the next one when we get back in game is kill. So see if you type that and I immediately die. Then the next one is loadout. Again, this is one you can't use in game, I believe. So you would just type loadout and then a skill set number and then the item and then kind of what you want to give them. Oh, you can set loadouts from the console. So again, this is item IDs. So this is the skill set ID, so firemen, all this will be linked in the description for how it works. So firemen, for example, this is an Eagle Fire, and these are magazines. Then the next one is map. So this is if you want to change the map, but again you can't do this while running, you have to do this in the config. Now we have a couple more that you can only do in the config. So max players, so you can change that basically in the game, but this won't be saved in the config. So if you want to set that, you'd have to go into the config, but this will change it. So say if you normally only play with 4 of your friends but you want to play with 6 today, you can just do that in the console and it will be a temporary change. Then the next one is mode. So this is easy, mode normal, or mode hard. But again, you can only do that one in the console. Then the next one is name. Again, I believe this is a console only, but this is basically the name of the server. Oh no, so this will basically what the server appears as on the server list. So say if your friend is struggling to find you, you could change the name of the server on the server list to like name find this server, and they can look for that and it can make it easier for them. Then the next command is owner, and then you would need to put your Steam ID. So for example, my Steam ID from earlier, 61198 121 1722875. But again, you can't do this while we're running, so you need to paste this into the config. Then there is permit, and what this basically does is it only lets specific people join the server. So say if I put in 765611981211722875, and then you need to put a tag at the end, and this basically allows you to select who can join your server, so it's basically like a whitelist pretty much. So if I put that in and then tag, only I am able to join that server. And the reason you add a tag at the end is because you can put people into select groups. So say if you do certain events at certain times, you can give people specific tags and say only let the people with this tag in, only let the people with that tag in, for example. Then the next one is perspective, and this can be first, third, or both. Basically what this does is it changes the perspective in the game, but it can only be done in the config. Then the next one is players. This is a pretty useful one. It basically tells you every character in the game, their name, their Steam ID and their ping, so it can be very useful for finding out who you are. Then the next one is port, and this always has to be 27015. There's no real reason to type that into console, it'll always be in your config and it'll never change. Then the next one is PvE or PvP, again that's in the config, so you won't be able to update that on the running server. Then the next one is Q_size, and you input a number. So this is basically how many people can be waiting to join your server before it just doesn't let any more wait. Then the next one is to give people reputation, and then you would put in the name and how much reputation they want to give. But again, this is a Steam command, a cheat command, so you need to enable cheats, and then that would be exactly what you would type. Then the next one is reset config. Now what this does is basically reset the config to default commands. So I wouldn't recommend doing this, there's no real reason, unless you're wanting to start the server from the beginning. Now this is a very important one, it's save. So this will basically save the game. If you don't do this, so say if you go here and click this X before saving, your progress that was made in the server will be lost. So do remember to save. Then the next one is say, and then you can type a message like welcome, and as you can see here it will get broadcasted as like an anonymous message basically, so it's very useful to give alerts to players. And then there is shutdown, and you can add a delay to shutdown. So say if I want the server to shut down in 10 minutes, I could type shutdown 600, and as you can see there's a shutdown delay, so in 10 minutes my server will shut down. Then the next one is slay, and then you can put in a name. So as you can see, it's basically similar to a ban, but it bans them for a year exactly. The reason you would use it is kind of just to, it's just useful if you want to just use that command instead of typing in the amount of seconds in a year, so it makes it much easier. So now basically if you do that by accident and you want to unban yourself, you just type unban and then 765, your Steam ID obviously, not my one, 981211722875. So as you can see we shouldn't be able to join back right now, but for some reason it didn't want that to work. Okay, it seems to be, oh no it doesn't. Okay, so let's see now, we go back and play, go to connect, and we want to unban ourselves. So we want to type unban, and then our Steam ID, I must have entered it wrong. So it's 765611981217222875. There we go. As you can see, it can be kind of difficult getting the numbers right all the time, but you know, you just have to watch out for it. Then the next one is spy. So this will basically take a screenshot of what the player can see. So you just type spy and then like the name, for example, it will basically just take a screenshot of that player, and then it saves it into your Unturned folder. Then the next one is storm. Very simple, it just toggles the rain. Then the next one is sync, but again this is only a command that can be used in the config. What it is basically to sync between your servers so people can use the same IDs. So then you can go to teleport, you would put in a name, for example, and then a location. Is airport one? Yeah. So then, as you can see, that's a way to just teleport people. You can also do it to other players, so that would just be like teleport, you'd put the name of the person and then the name of the person, but obviously it's just going to teleport me to myself because I'm the only person in the game. Then the next one is time. So this is basically the time of day, so if I set it to 300, we'll be halfway through the day. If I was set it to 450, we'll be basically halfway through the night. And if I set it to 600, we should be just the very start of the day again. Again, this depends on your time cycle, so say if your time cycle was just 300, time 300 would give you the very beginning of the day. But obviously, because my time cycle is 600, it puts me to halfway through the day. Then the next one is timeout, and then a number. So this basically means like how high someone's ping has to get before they get kicked. Obviously 600 is a bit high, you would normally put less than that, but it's just for an example. Then the next one is unadmin, and then obviously I put my name, and you see unadmin, so if we type in admins again, fail to find any admins. I'm just going to admin myself again. Then the next one is unpermit. So we saw this one before again. It's just the same as if you permit someone. If you want to remove them, you would just put in their Steam ID, and then that would unpermit them. Then the next one is vehicle. So you would just type in vehicle, the player, and then vehicle ID. Again, you can get these in the description, but again, without cheats, you cannot summon vehicles. And then the next one would be welcome, and then the text. So now whenever anyone joins the server, the welcome message they will see is welcome. And then the last one is whitelisted. What this will basically do is show you the players who are whitelisted, but you'll need to do it in the config. So that is all the commands that you can use in the console, including cheats and not using cheats. As you can see, you know, the server's perfectly up and running. If you do want to make this server, again, as I said, it's in the description. If you did like this video, a like would be much appreciated. And as you can see in the top, it says shut down in 300, so it does give you an idea of when it will shut down. It does broadcast it to the users. But if you like this video, a like and subscribe would be much appreciated. And if you want to go that extra mile, I do have memberships on my channel now. It really helps me out, so definitely consider it. Part 3, I'll basically cover all the in-game commands. So everything you can type in kind of here. So obviously I'll get into easier zone. And then if you want to admin, so things like that, for example. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you soon. Until next time, bye bye. Hey guys, I just want to squeeze this in at the end. I want to thank Big T Fishbone for becoming a member of my channel. It just happened at the end when I was editing this video, so I thought I'd just squeeze it in here. So big thanks to Big T Fishbone for becoming a member of my channel.